Good evening, I'm Kyle Simpkins.
And I'm Alice Hewitt.
And you're watching Mediaplex News Now.
It appears that spring has finally sprung. Kyle Simpkins explains more.
We all remember this. After months of brutally cold weather and record-setting snowfall in the region, Windsor is finally getting a break from the cold. With temperatures reaching the mid-teens the past couple of days, even the pressure of exams couldn't keep some university students from forgetting about the trauma of the polar vortex.
It feels really great. The air is fresh, so that's always a good thing, and especially with exams coming up, it's just nice to go outside for a nice walk.
Man, it's very beautiful outside. I actually called my parents all the way in Nigeria to tell them how good the weather was today. I just had to come out and take pictures even though I have exams.
Seasonal business owners are hoping spring is finally in full swing.
Since the weather has broke, yes, people come in, they're excited about golf and excited about life. Our regulars get pretty pumped to be back.
Heather McKenzie says it's not just here at her family's driving range. The whole industry is ready to start generating some green.
Yeah, it affects everybody in the golf business. We only have so much time, to play the game. So slow start isn't good for anyone.
For the regulars here at the range, just being out and getting active is a treat.
I love it. The snow and the cold really limited basically everything there was to do in this whole entire city. It's finally good to not be snowed in.
So the general consensus amongst Windsorites with these warmer temperatures and longer days is that everyone is finally ready to say goodbye and good riddance to Old Man Winter. For Mediaplex News, I'm Kyle Simpkins. Now let's take a look outside to our weather specialist, Stacey Janzer. How's it look out there, Stace?
Well, it's beautiful outside right now. A little bit cloudy, but the sun is still shining at about 12 degrees. But will you need an umbrella a little later in the week? I'll be back shortly with your full forecast. Right now, back to you guys.
After the harsh winter, many have noticed that heating costs have gone through the roof, and time of use has become important. Adam Albaba has the story.
Aside from rent, Reno Botolin's top expense is powering his restaurant, Reno's Kitchen.
When it comes right down to it, the basics, the lights on, the music on, the dishwasher, things like that, the hood over the stove, these are things that are necessary and we can't run our business without them.
Next month, MNN Utilities will be changing its pricing system to a new time of use program, dividing the day into 3 different rate periods. MNN spokesperson Barbara Pierce-Marshall says the system's goal is to help residents keep a close eye on when they are using energy the most.
It's important from the provincial perspective that we don't overtax the system. Overtaxing our system at peak periods can lead to blackouts and brownouts.
Bordelin says every small business has hurdles when first opening, and MNN isn't easing the stress with this new system.
Small businesses in particular, from my perspective, can't actually participate in a time of use or conservation in that aspect. I mean, I can't turn the lights off on my customers. I can't turn the dishwasher off. We need to be up and running. So in fact, it's unique in a sense because we're actually getting penalized.
Marshall says there are programs through MNN that can help businesses reduce the energy they use.
We do have programs like Peak Saver Plus that'll help residents track and shift their consumption.
She says smart meters will be installed on every house to help give energy companies an hour-by-hour reading rather than the current month-by-month reading.
There are 2 ways that both businesses and residents can save money. One would be to switch their usage to off-peak hours. If that's not possible, then they can look at how they are actually structuring their environment.
The new system will be divided into a high period on-peak program, a mid-range, and a low period off-peak program. Marshall says MNN will be holding a conservation fair at the Kobodo Club April 9th, really allowing citizens and business owners to see how the new system will work, as well to show them the conservation programs they can participate in. Adam Albaba reporting for Mediaplex News.
It was a game of hoops for a good cause. Reporter Sean Garrity explains more.
Eddie Francis announced at a fundraiser March 30th that this will be his last event before his resignation. Catholic Central High School was jam-packed with fans and children to watch a basketball game between the local doctors and medical school students from Windsor's medical school. The charity Dunks for Dialysis, Care for Kidneys game had several prominent Windsorites on hand to participate in the festivities. The mayor received a community service award, and Francis said there are a number of reasons why this day was essential for healthcare.
One, it provides support for the foundation. Two, it provides support for those people in our community that need the support and the help. Three, it's a recognition of all of our physicians in the healthcare community for the things that they do every single day for our benefit and the benefit of our entire region.
Dialysis is a treatment, not a cure for the kidney disease, and it does not fully replace kidney function. Unless patients receive a kidney transplant, they must continue to have dialysis for the rest of their life. The founder of Dunks for Dialysis, Dr. Albert Kadri, said all proceeds are donated and benefit kidney patients in the Windsor and Essex County area.
We use it as a fundraiser to raise awareness about kidney disease in our community and to contribute to patients with kidney disease in terms of fundraising efforts, purchasing equipment, supporting the hospital and our regional renal program. So it's just a good cause. We feel strongly about it. It's a lot of fun.
Tom Palameda from Windsor has been a kidney dialysis patient of Kadri's for 2 years. He was a spectator in the bleachers with his family and said he would not be living if it was not for dialysis.
Well, for me, it's my life. If I don't go to kidney, to my dialysis session, I won't survive. So for me, I go 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's what I have to do to survive.
The medical students got a taste of their own medicine, losing to the doctors 55-45. The charity hopes to bring in $30,000. For Mediaplex News, I'm Sean Garrity.
We are continuing to have a series of musical guests perform in studio. Carl Simpkins is standing by with local band Virginia's Leaf.
Thank you, Alice. I am standing here with Virginia's Leaf. Guys, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Now, before you play for us here, let's get a little background. Where are you guys from?
We're all from Windsor.
All from Windsor. And how did you guys get together?
Back in university, Dean had approached me and asked me if I wanted to join the band, and I kind of laughed at him because it was kind of a joke band at first, but then they lost their singer, and I decided to come in to it. It's awesome.
Now, you guys have a really good sound. Where does that sound come from?
I think it's really Canadian inspired. Canadian literature, Canadian music have always been something very important to me over the years, and I really think it influences and shows in the music. So.
And how long have you guys been playing together?
About 22 years off and on, and last year we just decided to get back together after I decided to have children. That kind of stopped us for a while, and I approached Dean. We've always been friends, and I said, let's get back together, and he was all for it, and we started again.
Now, being together for so long, even though it was off and on, what are some of the other obstacles that you guys have had to deal with throughout the years?
Well, one we haven't had to worry about was our relationship. We've been great friends the whole time, never argued, never fought, except for over the children. But it's finding and keeping bass players. They've been remarkably elusive to us. As you see, we don't have one here, and so if this is a plug, we'll take a bass player. Give us a call.
Now, what do you think it is about keeping that fourth member that has been eluding the band over the years?
I'm not sure, actually, if it's just something that, we've had them off and on, but then they've gone on to other places and moved to other places. And like I said, we've always been from Windsor, and we've just never been able to find someone, eh? Like, there's not really one thing to pinpoint it on.
Never.
Being from Windsor, have you guys toured at all anywhere?
No, we were really entrenched in the community, be it family or school, and never really went anywhere outside of the community. But we're happy with that. It's been a great community. It's served us really well over the years. So,
all right, guys, Virginia's Leaf, play us out, guys.
Thank you. I wanted something from you. And I got nothing, what did I expect? I'll just play my guitar and sing another song. about the pain that you have become. And you were all that I wanted, and you were all I never got. Why do I always try again? Why do I always try again?
You spend all your time in front of a mirror. I'm not sure that you know what you are looking for, but I can tell you it's something unreal. It's about the monster that you have become.
And you were all that I wanted, and you were all I never got. Why do I always try again? Why do I always try again?
When there's nothing left to say to you, I walk my own path and find somebody else. You broke my heart, left me standing in the rain. You left me all alone, all alone. And you were all that I wanted, and you were all I never got. Why do I always try again? Why do I always try again?
And you were all that I wanted, and you were all I never got.
Thanks, guys. The University of Windsor geared up for a whole new kind of athlete. I went to the St. Denis Centre to find out more about robotics. If these competitors are nervous, they aren't letting on. The Windsor-Essex Great Lakes Regional First Robotics Competition ran from April 2nd until the 5th at the University of Windsor's St. Denis Centre. 42 high school teams from the Great Lakes region participated in the event. The teams were split into red and blue alliances, and the two groups played against each other in aerial assist matches. Each match, which lasts under 3 minutes, sees the 120-pound robots try and score coloured balls in the goals, with more points awarded for teamwork. Director of Robotics and Youth Services, Irek Kuzmiachek, said there's been a tremendous response to the event.
We have a challenge in Windsor and Essex, which is that on the one hand we have a high unemployment rate for young people, and on the other hand we have a skilled worker shortage and a shortage of engineers and programmers. And so this program in a way directs young people onto those tracks, into those fields like science and technology and skilled trades where the jobs do exist.
The AWOD worked with Sandwich Secondary students to create the SaberBytes robot.
Part of your registration, you get a kit that comes with it. It comes with motors and processor, that sort of thing, just to keep a level playing field. But anything fabricated, we can make and use however we see fit.
On the last day of the event, awards were handed out, and teams got to know if they had what it takes to make it to regionals. The SaberBytes were one of those teams that will be making the trek to regionals. For Mediaplex News, I'm Alice Hewitt.
For many of us, our pets are a member of the family. April has been designated as a month to show our appreciation to our 2- and 4-legged friends. Joseph Elliott has a story.
Pet value stores across North America have deemed April Pet Appreciation Month in an effort to raise money for pets in need. The Buy a Paw Help a Pet campaign began 4 years ago and has raised over $2 million in Canada. This year, their goal is to raise over $1 million and to help nearly 200 different pet charities.
The fundraiser is actually going all across all pet values in the U.S. and Canada. It's supposed to be all of April. However, we started a week before now, and it's called PAW, which is Pet Appreciation Month. And all the money we raise is going directly to local charities in the neighborhood.
According to the Canadian Federation of Humane Societies, shelters across Canada took in over 119,000 cats and 53,000 dogs in 2012. Of those sheltered pets, 42% of cats were adopted, while 41% had to be euthanized, and 45% of dogs were adopted, while 15% needed to be euthanized. Groups like Advocates for the Underdog and Moggy Cat Rescue shelter animals and helped adopt them out to safe family environments. Pet Value in Tecumseh took part in Pet Appreciation Month for the first time in 2013 and raised $1,100. This year, they began early on March 21st, and since then, they have raised over $600 towards their $2,000 goal.
We ask that you come into the store and make a paw donation. It is open, but at the minimum we are asking for $1, or for canned food donations or dry food donations. It goes to helping all these animals in our care. We also do have other fundraisers in the store, such as our nail clips for charity, and that happens the first Tuesday and the third Sunday of every month.
For more information on how you can get involved with Pet Appreciation Month, visit your local Pet Value store. For Mediaplex News Now, I'm Joseph Elliott.
Now let's take a look back outside with weather specialist Stacey Janzer on the corner of Victoria and University. Stacey?
25 years ago, the film Major League Baseball came out to pretty similar temperatures. The film was set in Cleveland, and it was about 9 degrees then. It's about 12 degrees now. Now for your full weather forecast. Tomorrow will be sunny with a high of 10 degrees and a low of 2. Thursday will be a bit warmer at 16 degrees with isolated showers throughout the day and a low of 5. Friday we'll see that sun again and a high of 12 and a low of 3. I'm Stacey Janzer, and that's your weather from the corner of University of Victoria. Back to you guys.
CJM Radio is getting a boost. The University of Windsor campus radio station is increasing its signal power by 400%. This will result in the station being heard more clearly in Lakeshore and LaSalle. The plan is to make the advantage of the advertising markets not only here, but in Detroit as well.
Many had the opportunity to re-wear and relive their bridal experience, all for a good cause. Jolene Perrin explains.
Gowns, tiaras, and dresses, oh my. The second annual Bridal Ball held a sold-out event on March 28th. Proceeds were set to benefit Run for Rocky, a local charity assisting gay-straight alliances in high schools and post-secondary schools.
It's amazing. It's actually one of the only events that you get to dress up with anything you want. It could be a nice wedding gown, it could be anything you want, and it's just really fun.
The idea of the event was aimed to mirror a wedding reception, minus the ceremony. It all started last year with Sarah Taylor. She said she had this idea for about 8 years before she finally decided to just get up and do it. She teamed up with Jennifer Pomerleau last year to make it all happen.
I kind of just wanted to do something where our brides could wear their wedding gowns again, and we could put on an event where we could raise money for some local charities that need a little extra help.
Melanie DeVoe co-hosted the event, which according to her was an absolute honor, because not only does it benefit Run for Rocky, but Run for Rocky also benefits Windsor Pride Community, where she sits as a member on the board of directors.
You know what, I'm a jeans and t-shirt girl and barefoot most of the time, so to wear 4-inch heels and be wearing, I think I'm Tattoo Barbie, that's what I'm calling myself tonight.
Bridal Ball 2015 has already been scheduled for March 27th next year. For additional information on how you can attend, visit www.bridalballevent.com. For Mediaplex News, I'm Jolene Perrin.
If your kids are planning to play hockey, you better start to save or you might be in for some sticker shock. Reporter Sean Preble explains.
The price to play hockey is rising. A recent poll by Scotiabank showed parents are expecting to pay approximately $850 per child for this year's hockey season. 34% even said they expect to spend more than $1,000 for their child to play hockey. Daniel Natto is a manager with the Windsor Minor Hockey Association and has 2 sons who play for the WMHA. He says when it comes to deciding whether to pay, it's all about perspective.
It's not cheap, but I mean, you make do. If you like the sport, you make it happen. If you don't, it's,
Dean LaPierre, president of the WMHA, says the cost can often depend on the league their kids are playing in.
The thing is, you play house league, there's no more fees. You pay that fee, you're done.
While hockey prices are on the rise in Windsor and Ontario in general, there are ways to save, including carpooling or buying used equipment. However, LaPierre says if you're going to take the latter route, make sure you know what you're buying.
2 things. Don't scrimp on safety. So don't buy a used helmet where there's cracks in it. and don't buy something that don't fit.
Given the cost for parents, local gold medal Olympian Megan Augusta Marciano started the Megan Augusta Foundation to help sponsor an aspiring hockey player each year so that they could hit the rink.
I figured, you know what, why not put a smile on a kid's face? And again, that's making a difference, and that's something that I really believe in.
For Mediaplex News, I'm Sean Preble.
Many think there are some good deals when shopping stateside, but you need to factor in the cost at the border. Stacey Janzer reports.
Shopping across the border may start costing you more money.
It's usually about 20%. It all depends on what you're purchasing.
Earlier this week, the media obtained a briefing note for the Prime Minister. The note says border agencies waive duties and taxes when the value of goods is below a certain amount. Windsor's Chamber of Commerce understands the draw of shopping in America.
Basically what we're saying is that you live in a border community, there are all sorts of great amenities on the U.S. side as part of the attraction of living here.
The Chamber of Commerce co-created a resolution last year about this issue.
We have trade agreements, we do have legal requirements with respect to purchasing goods and bringing them back into Canada, and all we're suggesting is that those rules be enforced at the border.
When buying big-ticket items like wedding dresses, it could end up costing you more than buying locally.
When you factor in your fees for crossing the border, lunch, gas, and especially when you have to do alterations, you have to go back and forth a few times with wedding gowns and evening gowns, it ends up costing you more.
Something this shopper agrees with.
When you're figuring in the duty and the exchange rate in that, it's actually not really worth it.
Like this Windsor shopper, some just prefer to buy locally.
I've seen a lot of stores go under from lack of support, and so I try to support privately owned businesses first, and then I go to big chains after that.
Remember, when shopping stateside for less than 24 hours, there's no limit on what you can be pulled in to pay duty on. Stay over 24 hours and you have a $200 limit. Shop wisely and always be honest at the border crossing. For Mediaplex News, I'm Stacey Janzer.
In this edition of 5 Minutes With, we talk comics with Mike Poirier.
Hi, I'm Chris Mayu, and you're watching 5 Minutes with Mike Poirier. So Mike, I wanted to start the interview off today with Batman vs. Superman. For the first time ever, two of DC Comics' poster boy superheroes are going to be in a movie together. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm excited about it because of, like you said, the concept has never been done before in film. I'm a little worried because Zack Snyder is directing it, and he just did Man of Steel, which I wasn't really happy with. So, I guess I can hope they get a better screenwriter than the last time. As far as what it's going to lead to, I'm excited about because I think they're going to set up the Justice League movie. I think that Marvel might be jumping in a little bit too soon DC is jumping in too soon trying to compete with Marvel with Avengers, but otherwise I'm excited. I'm sure it'll be a great story, All
right. And actually, it is just filming just across the river at Detroit. Yes. What are your thoughts on that?
That's exciting because I actually have a friend who owns a comic shop in Detroit, Brian Kelly, and he's going to be working on the set because on the side he does like rigging and lights and stuff like that. So I think I'm going to get a lot of inside information on that. So
it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
In other movie news, actually heading into Marvel, it was recently announced that after Amazing Spider-Man 2 and 3, Sony Pictures will be doing a Venom film and a Sinister Six film. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not really. The Venom film could be a mistake because I don't think he works as a solo character. I think he works best as a villain, and they didn't get him right the last time in Spider-Man 3. So I'm cautious about that. The Sinister Six movie could be interesting, but again, the first Amazing Spider-Man movie with Andrew Garfield, I didn't really enjoy that much as the Sam Raimi films. So. Bigger isn't always better, but obviously I'm still going to be excited, like we all are, just to see these characters on film. That's always the first thing, I think, the thrill we get out of it. And as far as the movie itself being good, I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. All right. And now going into TV news. Right now there's two popular TV shows based off comic books.
Yes.
The Walking Dead, of course, and Arrow. Out of the both of them, which one do you enjoy more?
Let's not even mention Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I noticed that you did that. Okay, Arrow is an excellent show. It is very cheesy, but I'm addicted to it. I watch it every week. I think it's because I care about the characters so much, even though it's a little bit melodramatic. I think Walking Dead is better written. And people complain about how inconsistent it is, but I think it's just because each episode is appealing to a different type of audience. Sometimes it's action, sometimes it's drama. And so a lot of times people will abandon the show depending on how that season or how that half season goes, but I stick with it, and the last season was a big improvement over season 3, so I'm happy. So I do think Walking Dead is a better written show.
Okay. When it comes to film and TV shows based off comic books, do you prefer that they go strictly by the book that it was based on, or do you like it more when they change things up and deviate it from the book?
Well, it's with Walking Dead. There's already a story there, right? Like Walking Dead is about the journey of these characters. I'm not caught up on the comics, but I'm assuming that a lot of the characters that are alive in the show are probably dead in the comic. Eventually, it has to end, right? Like it does have an end point. But Arrow is based on a continuing character that's been around for about 75 years, who's constantly changing. They can pretty much do what they want with Arrow, I think, because the comics, there are some good Green Arrow comics, but it doesn't have as consistent a history as Walking Dead, which is all done by one writer. So it depends on the source material, I think. Okay, and one final question. Sure. Are there any standout comic books for you right now? Yes, right now, if you're going to read anything, I'd read Hawkeye from Marvel by Matt Fraction, Daredevil by Mark Waid, and Wonder Woman by Brian Azzarello, and also the reprinting Miracle Man by Alan Moore, which is a classic comic, almost as good as Watchmen. Okay, all right, thanks for being here. Thank you. I'm Chris Mayu, and you've been watching 5 Minutes with Mike Poirier.
Many Windsorites think they know where they get the best pizza in town. As Darren Breckles explains, Windsor Pizza is one of the best in North America.
Windsorites have always appreciated the great pizza here, and now the city is getting noticed for it internationally. Armando's Pizza recently attended the 30th Annual International Pizza Expo for the first time and came away with 3rd spot for the best pizza in the world. While it's a feather in their cap, corporate pizza chef Dean Litster says what is really important is Windsor's unique pizza finally getting the recognition it deserves.
I think when you get yourself on the map in a competition like this, and not even just our shredded pepperoni and mushroom pizza, but like the deep dish we made, the Roman style pizza we made, the gluten-free, that's 4 people from Windsor just came out of nowhere and placed top 5 or better in a competition with 160 people in 5 different divisions. So I mean, that's a pretty big honor for us, and for Windsor Pizza in itself.
Litster says the secret behind Windsor's unique and great pizza all lies in the way it's prepared.
I'd have to say a lot of Windsor pizza is just hand-stretched pizza, and a big part of Windsor pizza is Galati cheese, Galati's pepperoni, and cornmeal. Not a lot of places outside of Windsor put cornmeal underneath the pizza, and that definitely brings some flavor, some crunch, a little bit of things people don't do.
Windsorites are pretty passionate about their pizza, and everyone has their favorite.
Oh, it's the best. I went away to school for a few years, 2 in Toronto and 2 in London, and I went through withdrawal because I needed a Windsor pizza. For me, it's Capri. Any South Windsor regret would vote Capri.
So now the secret is out. Windsor's great pizza and the people who make it are finally getting the recognition they deserve. For Mediaplex News Now, I'm Darren Breckles.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Alice Hewitt.
And I'm Kyle Simpkins.
You've been watching Mediaplex News Now.
Mediaplex News Now is a production of the St. Clair College Journalism Program.